Hello everybody, it's the Big Beardy One here again, and today we're talking about invoices and overdue payments and how we can recover overdue payments. So for me, the payment is in two states for me. There's owed and overdue. Owed basically means that you've sent the invoice date is stated in a month's time, and you're in between that period, you're owed that money, but you haven't gone past when it should have been paid. Overdue is you've gone past that point, and that's what we're talking about today. So before I continue, actually, I think I can answer this because at this moment in time, I am owed a couple of grand. I'm not going to give the exact amount, but a fair chunk of money. I'm overdue zero. No one owes me money. Oh, I'm overdue money. So I must be doing something right to be able to get those payments in when they should be paid into me. There is one time a job has not paid me and I never got the money for it. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video and give you the story of what happened so that you can look out for it yourselves and understand why this might have happened. But we'll get into that in a bit. So first of all, two things you should not do when you are overdue money. Number one, do not phone up the shipper the day after you were meant to be paid, kicking off. If you're there the day after saying, you should have paid me yesterday, where's my money, what's going on, why haven't you paid me, and you're just being, harassing them or kicking off or being aggressive, that shipper is never going to hire you again. They're going to think it's not worth the hassle having this bloke kick off of me when it's a day overdue. There might be a very good reason why it hasn't been paid on the right date. It could be it got stuck in the bank, the invoice didn't reach them, the invoice is incorrect, you might have made a mistake. There's lots of reasons why. So don't just kick off the next day. The second thing you shouldn't do is do nothing. That's probably worse, actually. If you do nothing, you're not going to get paid, or you're going to be waiting months. So just by sitting there and hoping the money will hit your account, don't do that. So here's an example of sort of falls into both of those. I did some work. I was due some money. It didn't hit the account on the right day. I waited a couple of days. I sent an email to the shipper saying, listen, the money was due this date. I haven't received it. What's going on? They messaged me back saying, you sent the invoice and the invoice was incorrect. That's why we haven't paid you. It was my mistake. If I had phoned up kicking off, I wouldn't work for them again. If I waited, they weren't going to tell me. They could have told me that it was incorrect when they received the invoice on the due day. They could have said, oh, by the way, this is wrong, send us another invoice. But they didn't, because shippers don't. They've got lots going on. They might miss stuff. So by I actually phoned this particular shipper. I didn't email him because I was on the phone to him regularly. If I'd kicked off or I'd waited, I would have either lost that shipper as someone I work for, or I would never have been paid. So what happened was I've sent the correct invoice with the correct amount on, got paid the next day. Resolved, simple. So what should you do when you haven't been paid? What I suggest, and this is just a suggestion, other people might have better ideas, but it works for me, so hopefully it will work for you. I wait a couple of days. I give it 48 hours, and then I send an email. And that email isn't me kicking off, screaming, give me my money. You've got to think you're running a business, so it's got to be professional, it's got to be, you've got to be polite, but at the same time, you've got to be fairly stern and don't let them walk all over you. So the email will go something like, to it may concern, I sent the invoice on this date, I was due to be paid on this date, here's the invoice number, I haven't received the payment yet, please can you advise when you're going to pay me? Regards, Big Beardy. 95% of the time, that will work. That will do it. You'll get a message back saying, really sorry, it'll be in your account in 24 hours. There was an error, there was a mistake, blah, blah, whatever. So hopefully that will solve most of the problems. Like I said, 95% of the time, that works. What might happen is they might send an email back or phone you saying, listen, we've got a couple of problems here. We can't pay you till Monday. In that case, fine. Don't worry about it. Say, that's fine. No worries. I'll wait to see if the payment hits my account on Monday. If it doesn't hit your account on that Monday, the next day, email them again. Same thing. You said you were going to pay me by this date. It's now a week overdue. Please, can you advise when you're going to pay me? If they keep fobbing you off, then you need to put your foot down. If they do it, fob you off another time, say, nope, this isn't acceptable. I am due money. You set the contract. You put it on the CX. This is the date we're going to pay you by. You haven't paid me. I need to know when I'm going to be paid, and I don't want to have to wait another month. If they keep doing it, then you've got to ramp up the pressure. You've got to say to them, listen, I want to be paid by this date, or I'm going to take things further. Bad review on CX. If that still doesn't get your money, once again, listen, I've been waiting. I've given you opportunities. I've spoken to the CX. If I'm not paid, I will go to the ombudsman, or I'll go to the authority so I can get my money. You just keep ramping up the pressure. Shippers don't want bad reviews, because then people aren't going to work for them. Shippers don't want to be messed around. Shippers want that money out. They want to keep the circle of money. They need to keep you happy. So by ramping up the pressure each time, a little by little by little, but you're being professional, you're not kicking off and screaming, you will get your money. I've never got to the point where I've had to go to say to the CX, listen, you need to step in here and do something. Because I've been professional, I've been polite, but I've been stern. My money has been paid to me. Saying that, I had the one occasion where I didn't get paid, and basically what happened, and this is, you can see the red light straight away. I wasn't paid on a certain date by this company. I messaged them. I didn't get an email back. I didn't get a phone call back. I waited a couple more days. I emailed them again. Listen, I've sent this email. You haven't responded to me. No response. If they are not talking to you, there is a problem. It's a massive flashing red light. There's an issue here. If you send a message to them and they don't respond to you, they don't pick up the phone, they don't email you back, you know there's an issue. If that happens, go straight to the CX. Say to CX, this has happened, put a bad review down, do everything in your ability, because there's something wrong here. What actually happened in my case was, it was a company called Dragon Logistics, I think they were called, and they did screw a lot of people over on the CX. You can go and have a look in the reviews comments of what happened to them. Must be at least 10 drivers that got screwed out of a lot of money. And from what I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, they basically, the owners of the business ran away, didn't even pay their staff for all I know, and just legged it. They hired me to do a job knowing full well they were never going to pay me. These things happen in business. It doesn't just happen on the CX. It happens in all walks of business. It happens to people all the time. It's not unique to this industry, but it does happen. So be aware of that. If you're chasing your money and they're not talking to you, you know there's an issue. If they're saying to you, listen, it'll be there next week, it'll be there next week, at least you know they're trying to get that money to you and you can pile on the pressure. If they just plain up ignore you and run, that's when you've got a real issue. So I hope this has helped some people out there. Like I said, simple steps. If you're not paid, be polite, be professional, and put on the pressure and just say, listen, you haven't paid me. When are you going to pay me? And if they haven't paid you again, when are you going to pay me? You should have paid me already. And if they still don't, then you start taking it up the steps. You've got to do it the right way. So yeah, hope this helps. Please leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think I'm right in this. Let me think if you know I'm wrong. Let me know if you've got a better way of doing it. I'd love to hear from you guys out there. Please, as always, be safe out there and have a great day.